In 2018, Fujifilm released the Fujinon X-mount cinema lenses, the 18-55 and the 50-135. This is the 18-55. We're going to be taking a look at it up close, and next week we're going to look at the 50-135. So let's crack on. We're getting a 35mm full frame equivalent of 27 to 84. Now, my math said 82.5 based on the 1.5 times APS-C crop, but Fujifilm's own website says 84, so that's what we're going to roll with. We've got an angular view of 76.5 degrees to 29 degrees, a t-stop of 2.9 to 22. You'll note we've also got the C mode available there. We've got a minimum focus distance of 0.85. Now, if you employ the macro switch, which you'll see at this end, you can access 0.38. I wish it was 0.38 full stop. Anyway, maybe that's a flaw with this. We'll see. We've got 22 elements in 17 groups, 9 iris blades. As you've already spotted, 3 lens control rings. We've got focus, iris, and the zoom in the middle. Now, the focus has a rotation of 200 degrees. Each ring has a gear mod of 0.8 and a pitch of 32, identical to its twin brother, the 50-135. We've got a front diameter of 85mm and a filter thread of 82. Now, as you've spotted, probably should have said it earlier, but we've got a zoom ratio of 3. We do have a tripod foot down here with 2 standard mounting threads, the 1/4 and the 20 female. If we flip to this side, you'll notice something rather special. This has electronic communication. Yes, it's a manual, all manual lens, but with the electronic communication, all that input transfers to your file, to your computer. You can see the T-stop on the back of the screen, for example. Everything that you input in here will translate across. Beautiful. Now, as I'll say with the other lens, this actually it's plastic and metal, and it's a touch over 1 kilo. It's a little bit lighter than the other lens, but you know, it doesn't feel so wild as I imagined before getting my hands on it. You know, you can see that it's not tiny, but it's also very usable. Now, naturally, a cinematographer is going to be throwing on all sorts of kit with this. You know, even I'd be stepping up to using some form of follow focus here, taking advantage of these rings. That would be a lot easier. And we do have on this side some other markings to make life easier, and a few more points for the tripod foot. Now, you do get a lens hood too. Let's see if I can get this on properly. So I'm going to line things up, just check all the way around. A little bit awkward doing it this way. Turn this in, and I know what I want to do first, because you can't take that off while that is on. So let's pop that back on, make sure we're on properly. There we go, I think that's right. It's a little bit harder to get it on at this sort of angle, but there we go. That's on. Very, very nice. And then we just flip that out and we're in. Beautiful. What do you reckon? Just under £4 for your first cinema lens. You'll definitely be wanting to get some cool shots with this. Right, onwards. Even shooting the lens unaided, no follow focus or other typical video production setup around it, it's a pleasure to use. I have used third-party cinema lenses before and of course shot manually for many years, so it's not alien to me, but even for a beginner to film in serious video, I don't think this would be a particularly hard lens to get to grips with. The lens feels quality and it's built for purpose, and it's surprisingly lightweight, which is cool as you're going to be adding more to the rig to get the most out of your shoot. That said, I think this is a lens probably more for set pieces, you know, on a tripod like this, as opposed to run and gun. Bear in mind, Fujinon is an industry standard for broadcast lenses, so it's no surprise that the MKX lenses are hard to fault. Now, this might be a bit of a big statement, but I think this offers the best optical quality in an X-mount standard zoom. The image is sharp across the frame, and you'd be hard pushed to find any issues with vignetting, chromatic aberration, or distortion. I just found it to be beautiful, all around beautiful, something you'd expect to see on the TV or on the big screen at the cinema. Clearly the unedited clips in this video are extremely random and not necessarily at that level, but you get the idea. Everything is internal and each ring moves smoothly and is well marked for accurate adjustments. The macro option is handy, but I just wish the lens had a closer minimum focus, full stop. As a true cinema lens, of course, this is parfocal, so once you set the focus, it maintains throughout the zoom range and the frame doesn't shift. Now, I really want an A-B follow focus. It's easy to focus without it, but it'd just be much easier, much more fun and productive, which is the whole point, if I had one of those. So I think that's going to have to be bought next. You know, this dream is never ending, but this lens itself, it's set up well as a foundation for the overall rig. As far as cinema lenses go, this and its twin brother, the 50-135 that we'll be featuring next week, represent superb value. At around £3,299 right now at the time of recording, and I've seen it under £2,000 second-hand in the UK, of course. It comes at a very decent price for professional video shooters. Clearly, they're not made for your average X-mount shooter, and for most of us it's way out there, but sure, if you're serious or I guess just well off, this is probably the first lens that you must get to get the most out of producing serious video with your Fujifilm camera. Now it's over to you. Let us know if you've used the MKX lenses yet, and even better, if you're a professional video production shooter, we want to hear from you with any tips or thoughts in particular about this lens. We look forward to hearing from you in the comments below.